All right, so let me pull up. Okay. All right, so Manny, I have my own opinions, but I want to get from your opinion, and I've asked several other people. Where do you think it is most important to put keywords, kind of in order of where in the listing to put them, and then where's the most important to put them?
Okay, number one, fabric type. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, the fabric type's good. We'll talk
Does that
about
rank? Does that index?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got a
That's a good.
story. If you want, I'll tell you a story in a little bit about how I figured out what ranks and what doesn't.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we'll get to that.
for most people, title obviously, right? Title is the place where you want your primary keyword. That's what
So,
people.
do you put your brand name before the title? This is something that some people say you do, and some people say you shouldn't. And
Yeah.
I never know. Luckily, I always made my brand with the keywords of my product, so it worked. But
Right. So I used to put the brand first. Then I'm going all the way back to just over 2 years ago when I started. I used to put the brand first. Then I removed the brand and I would put it at the very end. So it'd be the whole title and then buy and then my brand name. And then recently we've been not putting the brand at all. And sometimes Amazon will go in and reorganize things and put your brand in there anyways. But we haven't seen, I on the stuff that we're doing, we haven't seen any major issues. We've launched some new products that have crushed it, done really really well. One product that became the number one product in its niche ran in and we ran out of inventory because of that, way ahead of schedule, which kind of messed things up as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't put it in there. I try to keep the title as short as I can while still having as many keywords as possible. I've also done the flip side where I've stuffed the heck out of it and maxed it out. Um, and that tends to work. But I think that Amazon's getting smarter, and I think that I have a feeling, and I don't know, maybe you've talked to people that can actually see this, but I feel like you're getting rank juice, a certain amount of rank juice, right, over the total number of characters you have, and the shorter you make thing, the more each character or each word actually gets in rank juice. I have a feeling because I've seen some stuff that have pretty short titles. They're optimized, they look really nice, and they're outranking a lot of the stuffed keywords. So yeah, it's just
Yeah, I see
an
that on
observation.
YouTube also, because it's always I try to keyword stuff some of my YouTube titles, and then some of the other ones will just crush it that don't even have a good title, or they just have a super short. So yeah, okay, so
Yeah, and I'm not talking about just one keyword because that's easy to manipulate, right? You can do a product launch and you can say a short title with a keyword phrase, or even a really long title with a keyword phrase, and you can be number one. But if you're using a keyword tracker on a specific ASIN and you're looking at all the keywords, you can see that for whatever reason, that shorter title on in that category, in that niche, just is outperforming everybody else. And I don't think they're doing launches on every single keyword, so there's something there. I just don't know what it is yet.
yeah. So I've seen something similar to that as well. But I've never gotten it down into the science, and it just seems like everybody's kind of guessing. So as of now, your strategy at the moment is no brand name at all.
No brand name in the title. Obviously, your brand name will still rank because it's your brand name. And I'm putting the main keyword phrase as the first phrase. I started off with that. So if my product is a brown brush, right? Then I'm starting off with I'm not saying, I don't know what this would be, but let's just say they would start off with brown brush for horses, da 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 da, whatever it is, right?
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of other people will put something before that, like extra large, da da da. It's like, no, I start with that phrase.
Oh, okay, yep. And
Mhm.
then do you put like any benefits or any clickbaity stuff in the, or like in the title, or is it just kind of like short, simple, some main keywords, or like, I know some people are talking about how you need to sell the people in their in their titles, or some people have that strategy, where some just go with the Casey for viral launch is like, I put as many we have people putting as many as they can in there and just keyword stuff in it. So it's like everybody's got
Yeah.
these different strategies.
Yeah, I don't put benefits in the title. I'll put the benefits in the bullet points, also stuff with keywords. But the title, you have limited space. So your title should, especially if you're shortening it down, you should have as many juicy keywords in there as possible, right? So if you're putting something in there, like a tactical flashlight to brighten your evening, I don't know, whatever the benefit would be to make you feel safe. Now, unless people are searching for those keywords, they shouldn't be in the title. You can put the benefits in the bullets. Nobody that I know shops, and I know there's guys out there that have big followings that will say put the benefits in the title and you'll get um, more clicks. I don't click in there. You know what I do? I do a search and I don't even look at the titles. I look at the images, right? First of all, I look at the reviews. Excuse me. I see how many reviews they have, and I look at the image. And usually my eye will be attracted to anything that has like an orange button on it. So if it's like there's a coupon, or it's Amazon's choice, or it's a bestseller or whatever, then your eye automatically gravitates to that. But the image is what's going to grab me. The title, I mean, I'll look at the title and make sure that it's what I want, what I'm looking for, but that's about it. I don't care. I don't know if you read, 200 characters.
I probably don't. Unless it's like very specific, i.e. I need something for Samsung Galaxy Note 3 charger, like my old phone. I needed a charger, and so I was reading the title just to make sure of that. But I mean, other than that, typically I'm not.
Yeah. I'll try to, like I said earlier, I will try to, I see that there could potentially be benefit with shorter stuff. We haven't really experimented heavily with that. So I just want to put that out there. If I were to look at all my listings, most of my listings right now, 90% or more would be probably maxed out to the limit in terms of character count.
So you do follow the character limit count for your category, though?
I do, because a lot of our products, what we've set the titles back in the day, right? When everything, I haven't really changed my methodology on how I do things. So anything that we've done a title, let's say in the last year, is probably still there the same way. It's maxed out. There's a lot of good keywords in there. If we've gone in to kind of tweak some things, because maybe we see a certain keyword phrase now gets a lot more search volume, it's probably already in the title, but we'll move it closer to the beginning. But other than that, yeah, they're mostly maxed out. It's only the really new stuff that we've kind of shortened a little bit, and we're seeing Amazon come in and automatically shorten things as well. So that's why I feel like that's probably going to be a thing.
Okay, awesome, great. So then people put their main important keywords in the title, keep it short. That's your strategy, your new strategy. And then
we're testing. It's not my,
testing.
Not my
okay.
strategy. I will still, if my girlfriend launches a product, I will probably still tell her to go and max out as many keywords as she can in the title. But I do want to experiment. That's what I want to say. I want to experiment and see if there's a difference. Because here's the thing. Yeah, if I can add a ton of keywords to a really long title and I can start ranking for all of those, that's great. But if there's usually there's like one keyword phrase or maybe 2 or 3 keyword phrases that generate like 80% of your sales, right? They get that much traffic. So if I can shorten my title down to just those and it's dominant because I get more rank juice on those and I move up to the number 1, number 2 spot, that to me is more important than if I get tons of keywords and they're all in the number 5 and number 6 spot. See what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep. I see what you're saying. All right, so after the title, now we have the bullets, the description, back-end keywords, and we've got other fields. Where do you now prioritize? So you've got your list of keywords as per your, we talked about your strategy earlier for categorizing them. So now those next important ones that didn't make the title, where are the next most important ones going?
They're going in the bullets.
Okay,
I'm going to be putting them into the bullet points. Bullet points we've seen lots of times. If you go too long on all the bullets, they'll start to de-index. You'll start to not de-indexing, meaning you won't even show up in the search results for some of the keywords. So you got to play with it. So those I try not to go. I used to write paragraphs for each bullet.
So did I.
Yeah. And then we started realizing back when we would do all the index checking and all that, we're like, why are these keywords not ranking? I don't know if you saw that. And then we'd shorten them down and boom, they'd start ranking again. So I still write them pretty long. Everything's pretty long with me, I guess. It's just I make they're not paragraphs anymore.
Okay.
I fill everything. I've tried to get as many into the bullet points as I can.
Do you put emojis in those bullet points?
In the beginning, it's usually it's not too. I don't do it on the majority of my listings. I think on. Man, my brother handles this. I'm trying to remember what the products were. I think it was on some gift items for women that we did something that was kind of cute in front of each of the bullet points, but that was pretty much the extent of it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I always see them, but I've never put emojis in my listings, but I didn't know if there's some somebody crushing it with emojis.
I think once they're in your listing, once they've already clicked into your product listing, as long as the price is good, your reviews are good, and your images sell them, then you're fine. If you've got a bad image, you might lose them, right? They'll go awesome, 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 and an image number 4 is terrible, and you lose them, right? You're judged by your worst image, so you're gone.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I know that emojis have been proven to work, but I think that's just to get attention and improve click-through on, like, YouTube videos and emails. So, yeah.
Maybe we use them in our emails, on our subject line.
Okay.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, maybe guys, just skip the emojis for the listing. That's from what I'm learning from talking to people. So, all right. Now the question is description or back-end keywords. Which one?
Back-end.
Back-end. Okay.
Yeah. Back end, we'll find they rank almost every time for everything that we put in there. Then I would say after the keywords, the back end keywords would be subject matter.
Before the description.
Yeah, for sure. Before.
Okay.
Subject matter and back end keywords to me rank roughly the same. If I can't get something to index, I'm not showing up in the search results, I'll throw it into the subject matter and I'll rank. If I throw it into the keywords, I don't know how what your experience is. It's hit or miss. Sometimes it'll help. Sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know why.
The back-end keywords?
No, the description.
Oh, yeah. Description is, I have no idea. Especially if you got enhanced brand content, and it's just like, it's long.
Yeah. No, the back end, it works great. So you have your back end keywords, 250 characters essentially, right? 250 bytes, I guess, is the technical term. It should work out to almost 250 characters as long as you're not using any weird characters. And then the subject matter fields, unless they've changed recently, they should still be 5 fields of 50 characters each, and that just gives you some more. Now, there's other fields as well that you can that I probably wouldn't recommend using, but if you absolutely have to get a keyword in somewhere, you can use other weird fields to make things happen.
Okay, so, and then you want to tell your story about how you figured that out?
Yeah, it's an interesting story, I think. So when I first got into this, right, like it was just over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. And I came from the app side where we were, when you're dealing with the mobile app business, you've got like the smartest people in the world, right? All these engineers, coders, all these guys that are just incredible, and they can figure everything out. So you have to be like on top of your game there. So when I came over to the Amazon side, I already knew how to optimize apps in the App Store, which is very similar to Amazon, right? You have your app title, and you got your thumbnail, and you got description and bullets and keywords and all the same, basically almost the same thing. So I was like, all right, there's all these fields in Amazon on your back end that the App Store really didn't have. So I'm like, I wonder if any of these things rank, right? So like there's a manufacturer field, and there's a part number field, and there's a fabric type, and there's a weight, and there's all these, every field. Like you can think of, there's probably like 150 fields in the back end. So what I did is I made up a word, right? Let's just say you typed in mopey or something like that, mopey 1, and it's a completely misspelled word, right? And then I do mopey 2 and mopey 3, and I had this big list, and I would actually put that in every field. So in the first one I typed mopey 1, second one would be mopey 2, mopey 3, and by the way, I made sure that keyword, when I typed it into Amazon, it would come up and say 0 results found. Right?
Oh, so yep. So nothing was indexing.
Nothing was indexed. Nothing. There was no thing. So I put it into every field. Every field had a different number of that word. And then I waited till the next day. And then I went in there and I manually started typing Mopey 1, 0 results. Mopey 2, 0. Mopey 3, boom, it showed up 1 result. I'm like, oh. So I'd go and look and see where Mopey 3 was. And I'm like, oh, man, it's in the fabric type. Okay, so the fabric type is now ranking. It indexes. So then I went through everything, and I just had a big list of all the fields that indexed. And I believe I was the first person that actually published that online and in our group when we first started. I'm like, hey guys, these are the fields that I'm finding that are indexing and ranking. If you guys see any other ones, let me know. So, and some of those fields, I remember when I was messing with some of those fields, because they're not designed for keywords, they like rank 100%. Like even if you got a keyword that for some reason is like blocked, like Amazon will not rank that keyword for your listing for some reason, like it's you can stick it on one of those and then it shows up. It's just really weird.
So that's how those guys rank those products for sex toys.
No,
Oh,
I don't
because
know.
there's always some people who like manage to these Chinese accounts. They'll you make a product and then they'll crush it by selling restricted products for a short amount of time, and but the bot will catch them if it's in their listing. So I always wondered, how do they rank them? But that would make sense. Maybe one of those fields or something.
And some of those fields will actually show up under the bullet area. So it'll say like, like if you go to the imported field and you select that you're imported, it'll show as a bullet point that says imported. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
So some of those editable fields, if you can edit them, they'll actually show up as an extra bullet point. So it's a way to get like 6 bullet points or 7 bullet points on your list.
I've seen that, and I was always wondering how there was extra bullet points on some listings.
There you go.
Oh, all right. Well, there's some tips. All right, and then I guess maybe some bonus tips. What about you ever use Q&A to rank potentially?
So,
or heard of someone doing that?
Yeah, I've heard of people using Q&A.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do stuff. Basically, think of it this way: anywhere that you can get keywords, potentially is going to rank. And even if Amazon doesn't rank you, you're going to potentially show up on Google search results for that, right? So if you got something, if the right question is asked, right? Are you familiar with Answer the Public?
Yep.
Yeah. So if it is Answer the Public, right? I mean,
yep. It's Answer the Public or Answer the Republic. It's something like that.
Yeah. So if you go to answerthepublic.com, you can actually type in a word, right? A phrase that's related to your product or whatever, and it will show you all the top questions for that question. Let's say you type in yoga mat. It'll say, what is the best yoga mat? Or what is the softest yoga mat? Or where is the best yoga mat available? It's the who, where's, why's, all that, right? All those questions are in there. And then you can grab those. And then if you start using those in Q&As, right? Google.
Or if somebody were to ask those in Q&A.
Yeah, because if you enter them yourself, that would not be white hat. So you have to make sure that someone's asking those questions, right? But those questions, if they're asked, they do get indexed by Google, especially if you know how to get Google to go and spider a page and things like that. Can be very powerful to get. You want those questions asked on your listing if possible.
Yeah, because you have the domain authority of Amazon.com and an exact phrase match. There's not a better site in the world to show for that obscure long tail search than
there you go.
So
a double good whammy. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. I think that's about it, unless you have any other magical tips for putting keywords in the listing.
I have tons of tips on my podcast, but right now.
Yeah. Everybody should listen to his podcast because that's how I learned. So.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, man. You and The Amazing Seller were how I learned.
There you go. Yeah, The Amazing Seller was where I first started with Scott Volker and checking things out, and it was good. And then I started the AM PM podcast. It's funny. I don't remember. We had AM PM and it standed for something else, like Amazon Money Printing Machine or something weird like that. I don't remember what it was exactly. And we had this we had the podcast going, or not that podcast, it was something else. What was it? A group? And then finally I'm like, I'm just going to keep it. It's AM PM. It's like making money in the morning and making money at night. AM PM podcast. Not the best name for a podcast related to Amazon, but we stuck with it and it's gotten super popular. So yeah, if you guys want some tips and stuff, the podcast is out there. It's got a nugget or two in there somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, on to the next video.
Awesome.